Yeah.
Actually recording.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the red light is flashing. Does that mean, yeah? Yeah, and there's a timer up there.
Hello there, folks, and how is it going? And welcome back to another video, and welcome to this little absolutely lovely slice of paradise we have found here in Central Portugal. Yeah, it's cold, folks, and I am genuinely suffering from my arch here. So you see this loveliness behind us? Yeah, synchronized swimmer, bro. Look at these bridges, folks. These are the main subject of our first photo location for this video, and then we are going to go and capture a nice blue hour shot. Now, the task today is I can't touch the ground. Oh no, hold on. I can just about touch the floor here. Oh, I'm too low. I thought by being in the water, I was going to be able to see the reflections that you could probably see right now. But I'm way too low. Which kind of is okay because Orla was going to have to pass me the camera, and it's the only camera I have, and let's be honest, I probably would have dropped it. So I think our only option is, if you can see the tripod here, we're going to have to probably just set up there and capture the shot. And it's really, really gorgeous. We are in Foz, how do you pronounce it?
I think it's Foz d'Água.
Foz d'Água?
Água.
And it's right in the middle of Portugal, essentially. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And today was a very hot day, and we figured we'd go for a drive, cool off in the water, and that's what we are doing. It's absolutely magic. So, we have been here now for probably maybe about an hour, and when we arrived there were still a few people here, and I did manage to capture a couple of shots that I'm going to pop up on the screen for you now, along with this one if it works. Here in Portugal the rules are they're not strict, but there's some rules you need to follow when you photograph in public, particularly in a place like this. And there was a bit of light still on the hills, so if that picture and these turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now, and let's have a little explore around the place. I need to get out of here because it's starting to get freezing cold. So let's have a look at some pictures. Yay! Welcome, friends, to the ASMR Photography Studio, and welcome to the first image in this week's video. Now, as I was pottering around in the water, as you just saw, I think it has to be quite possibly the greatest intro of my entire YouTube career to date. Unfortunately, the picture from the water didn't work at all. Like, I was scrambling, I was just too low. And this is what I captured before I got into the water. I managed to capture this image just as there was no people kind of knocking around, and there was a tiny bit of light left up there on the back of that mountain, which I really, really like. Unfortunately, there's no real light on the main subject of the image, but that's okay because look, it was a bit of a ad hoc kind of adventure we took, and had we arrived maybe a little bit earlier, there could have potentially been some nice light on these bridges, but nonetheless it was still a really, really wonderful experience. So I'm super happy with this one, and I really, really love that kind of super narrow crop that I put onto this image. But overall, obviously, as you can see, it is a really, really gorgeous place, and it really does photograph very, very well. Just with a bit of light on the bridges themselves could work out a wonder. So onwards we shall go. So folks, as you would have just seen from the picture that I just rambled about, classically ASMR photography lab style, the problem I'm having with the shot is the path. As beautiful as the scene is, well, there's two problems, I'll get to the second one now in a second, is the path, right? So what we're going to do is essentially move up the ways to where I photographed earlier from that first frame that you would have saw, and we will then see about trying to capture a cleaner image. And the second issue that I'm having now is that because this is a smaller sized sensor in this camera, as you know my main camera is busted, I'm not technically shooting at 16 mil, and you do need to be a little bit wider. So as I mentioned as well, the images we saw. Wow. Wow, Senior Spielbergo here is getting chewed alive for this video, folks. So let's both comment banana and thanks a million, Senior Spielbergo, for persevering. After our brief interlude, we sprayed ourselves with some kind of like, you know, mosquito-y repellent stuff. The mosquitoes here, folks, are pretty crazy. And the flies, they bite. They have these stable flies. One thing you got to be cautious about if you do visit this wonderful area. Anyways, let's amble up the bridge a little bit, and the wind has come right down now. And I really, really, really want to capture some of the reflections of the bridge. Hence the reason why I was in the water. That was a total disaster. Let's have an amble up and see about getting a cleaner frame with some reflections. Let's go. He says just as the wind picks up. No. Okay, folks, so now here is one of these if you can't beat them, join them situations. I have no choice but to include the path here. I can't get a clean frame of the bridge by itself. And the wind, of course, has picked up. But nonetheless, we have to shoot this as a pano. It is the only way we can get everything that we want in frame. Even if I had my other camera, I would probably still need to shoot it as a pano. And that was some quality camera work there, folks. And so we are going to wait for the wind to die down, and then I'll be super duper quick, and I'm going to do a bracketed panoramic where I'll probably need to shoot maybe what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individual frames. Oh my god, I almost fell in there. And so let's wait for the wind to die down, and if this picture turns out to be any good, I'm going to pop it up on the screen for you right now. So here is the result of that panoramic with the bracketed shots. I really like this kind of composition that we got going on here. Like that previous last one we looked at, you know, the angles of the bridges are more kind of like true to life without any of that kind of like distortion feel. And overall, really, really happy. Now again, for me, the big drawback obviously is this path on the left hand side, but like I say, if it's, you know, sometimes you gotta just go with it, and you know, you don't get everything you need. Maybe if you had a drone or something, you could like hover it above the water and get that kind of perfect angle, which I didn't have. So such is the way of things. But overall, super duper duper love the frame. A good representation of the place, and of course those reflections, I managed to capture a nice bit of stillness in that water, probably because I wasn't in it, let's be honest. And but really, really love this image. But overall, such a wonderful spot nonetheless, and we shall continue onwards. So folks, as Senior Spielbergo has been panning around for you wonderfully with the B-roll that you are just watching right now, this part of Central Portugal is very new to us. As many of you know, we lived in the Algarve for a long time, and now living here in Central Portugal, it's really given us a wonderful opportunity to explore this. And it's such a, I hate the word hidden gem or the term hidden gem, but that's what this place really is. And it's the fact that we're alone now, there's nobody else here. It's absolutely incredible. And it's, you know, you can see why it would be a very popular spot for folks to come and swim, and families to come and swim. There's a little cafe, and it's just so wonderful. So we are delighted that we came here and got in for a swim and enjoyed it while we could. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to photograph 2 locations. We have this one, which is technically like our sunset location, but then we are also then going to head about maybe, what was it, about 10-minute drive back up the way to a viewpoint of a, what are they called? Schist. It's a schist village. Do you remember actually in the other video where we were up the mountains, there was a tiny village off in the distance? Something very similar, but this particular one is very unique and really, really gorgeous looking, and our intention is to capture that during the blue hour. So we are going to pack up our gear and then we're going to head up the road. Get going. So folks, welcome to this absolutely wonderful viewpoint we find ourselves in. The town that we are overlooking, it's not a town, it's like a hamlet, if you will. And what's it called? Piódão. All right, Piódão. And it is absolutely gorgeous. And like I mentioned earlier, it's actually quite a unique location because it's all built, all the houses that you're going to see in the pictures now, they're all built from like the surrounding stone. And it's this really, really gorgeous kind of slate almost, isn't it? It's like schist. Shit. Not to be confused with schists. And but it is really, really wonderful, and we have arrived just at the perfect time to be able to try and capture this in that beautiful balance of ambient and artificial. So I hope you can see down here, you can probably see the lights that are on in the background here. That is the town, and at the moment I have my mid-range zoom on. And I'm just kind of playing around with different exposures, bracketing exposures, and just enjoying the view really. And it's a really, really lovely viewpoint from here as well. Now, you know, it'd be amazing if Orla got back into the car and drove up and down a bunch of times. I could get some nice light streaks along the road, but let's not do that. But for now, I am manually focused, and we are going to take this picture. Nice. So I have taken bracketed shots, 3 different exposures, and what I am going to do is overlay them, and if any of these pictures turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. Now this is the first frame we captured from this viewpoint, and I absolutely love it. The first thing that I love about it is the crop. I really love this kind of letterbox kind of style crop, and for me it just basically places the little village so neatly and so nestled within the kind of landscape, and then ultimately within the confines of the image. So I really, really love that about this image, and particularly the crop of this image. The balance of artificial light and natural light here, I think, is just ever so slightly leaning more towards the natural light, which isn't so bad. I probably could have darkened it down a little bit, but wanted it to be a bit more of a kind of a, you know, a truer representation of what I was standing there looking at, essentially. But really, it's such a wonderful, wonderful subject to photograph. So we actually saw this viewpoint on the way down to the town. We stopped in at the town on the way and had an ale sandwich, and then continued on to the bridges, and I saved it on Google Maps because it's a really, really smashing viewpoint of this town, and I really, really, really love how this one turned out. So I hope you enjoyed those pictures, and I really hope they turned out well. I have now changed to my 100-400, which on this camera is like, I don't know, whatever it is, 150 to 267 minus 20 multiplied by 2. And I am going to take just a couple of detail shots because I feel like that would be a nice thing to do. And one thing I forgot to mention in my previous ramblings was that on the drive up, I'm going to overlay a little video like just here over my shoulder. We got to see some wild boar on the road, which was amazing. I didn't capture the big fella, but the little babies. And there they are running around now. Look at them, the bleeding Egypts. And so I am going to take a couple of detail shots of the town. And Orla, if you want to come over here, you can kind of see, yeah, look at that. You want to like fill in the frame like this is absolutely wonderful. Let me turn off the manual focus. Oh, hold on, it's on the lens. And that way then you can kind of have a bit of a clearer picture. Can you see that? You see that? Look at that. Look at that. It's absolutely gorgeous, folks. So we are going to take that shot. Yeah, it's like a Christmas village. And again, I'm going to just shoot bracketed just so I have the kind of, you know, maximum dynamic range that I could possibly want for these images. And I'm just going to basically just pan around and see what kind of nice contrasts and patterns I can find. But as you know, I do love a good blue hour shot, but right now the light is fading so fast that that kind of artificial light now has started to slightly weigh out the ambient light. So we just need to be super duper mindful and very, very quick to capture the last of these kind of images that we're looking to do. And it is really, really fantastic. So if any of these particular pictures turn out to be any good, I'm going to pop them up on the screen for you right now. So these next two images that we are going to look at are the results of, you know, filling the frame. And I love doing this kind of thing, particularly obviously when you've got a nice telephoto lens that can go as far as whatever it went to in millimeters, and it really just tells a nicer story to the overall frames, whereas that wider shot tells a wonderful story of the village being nestled within the landscape. This image and the next one, they basically just tell a deeper story because it shows you the intricacies of the village itself, and I absolutely love that about this image. And then this next image that we're looking at right now, it's pretty much the same scene, just shot at a portrait orientation, and again it just shows deeper kind of layers to this wonderful, wonderful town. And again, that balance of artificial light and ambient light is very strong here, and I really, really love that about these two frames. So I'm super duper delighted I decided to pop on the 100-400 for this indeed. Now this last image was an absolute off the cuff kind of surprise shot, and y'all know how I love shooting a bit of night sky, but this, I'm so delighted. The moon was just like, hello, I'm gonna come between these two trees now, and who am I to, you know, not take its photograph? And I'm super duper happy I did, because I really, really love this image. Very simple, again, very kind of quick. Probably could have shot it faster at a slightly higher shutter speed, helped to kind of bring down that exposure on the right side of the moon. But sure, look, for off the cuff, oh my god, the moon is going to be between those two trees kind of picture, I am delighted with how it turned out, and a super happy end to how all of this day went. Such a wonderful, beautiful day exploring and swimming and enjoying you know, the local kind of Central Portuguese surroundings we find ourselves in. Super duper happy. So, random little moon shot at the end there. It's perfectly nestled between those trees up there. It's one beautiful thing about the 100-400, or that 100 and whatever it is to whatever it is. So I think I'm going to leave it here, folks. What an absolutely wonderful little mini adventure we had. You know, getting the opportunity to travel around like this in our little Nemo that we borrowed from our good friends has been a real treat. And you know, we obviously intend to explore out some more, so stay tuned for those. So folks, you know, like as I mentioned many times before in the past, you're going to find a bunch of links down below in the comments section here in relation to any kind of like support channels. If you ever feel like you have the opportunity to be able to support the work that I do here, it would be greatly appreciated. You find links down below as well. And obviously this video is sponsored today by myself. So if you fancy joining me on any of the workshops that I have advertised, you're most welcome to check those out as well on the website. But for now, gonna really just enjoy the rest of this evening. We've probably got maybe about an hour's drive to get back home to where we're staying, and it's going to be dark soon, so it's going to be great. And it's very steep mountain roads, but anyways, look, if you liked this video, folks, do give it a thumbs up. And if you fancy following along for more adventures like this one, you are most welcome to hit that subscribe button. But for now, I will see you all in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Cheers.